You're loaded. Number 2, it's called Club Never Die, $635,000. Entropy Universe, okay?
Jesus.
If you've played Entropy Universe, check out our Patreon.
Yeah. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Talk Bits. This is a podcast presented to you by the 4-Bit Crew. Pod number 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've found us and you've clicked the link, you're a real one. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets, tell everybody about us. We really, really appreciate it. What is the pod going to be about? Let me tell you. Tech, games, films, all that cool stuff. But we're going to go off on so many tangents. There's going to be loads of jokes, loads of laughs. We're here to have a really, really good time. And we want you guys to come on the journey with us. So, strap in. We're going to have a good time. So to start with, I'm going to introduce you to the crew. I'm going to start with myself, and actually they're going to introduce themselves. I'm sure they're capable of doing that. So my name is Stu, and I'm also going to be asking the guys to tell me about what video game they played that got them into gaming. So that first one that really made them go, I love playing video games. For me, Crash Bandicoot 1. I remember sitting with my dad and we'd play, we didn't have a memory card for the PlayStation, so we'd get as far around the first world as we could get, and then we'd have to turn it off, and then the next time we logged on, we'd see if we can get any further around the first island. Really, really good memories.
That's a really cute story, Stu.
Thank you so much. Crash 1 for me, I'm Stu, passing over.
Hey, I'm Richard, part of the 4-Bit Crew. That's a really good one, actually, because I remember there's a couple of ones I could name, but for example, I could go to Pikmin. I could go to Pikmin on the GameCube.
Wow. Yeah.
Great one. Great game.
Yeah.
I could go to PS1 games. There was this one where you kind of jump around. Obviously, Crash Bandicoot, things like
Classic.
that. Was it Rayman?
Rayman, yeah.
Some classics. But I think for me, the one that really cemented and started me off would have been Command & Conquer all day. And that stuck with me even to this day. I still like going back to the Command & Conquer games.
Yeah, good game.
Classics.
Hey, I'm Jack, also known as Hike, so if you hear that a lot, that's me. Sort of the games, I think the earliest game I ever played was Pokemon Blue, but the sort of games that really got me into gaming was like anything on the Nintendo 64, so we're talking like Diddy Kong Racing, we're talking GoldenEye, we're talking Ocarina of Time, the absolute classics, and that's where I solidified. My comfortable space is thinking about myself in my house. The rain is pitter-pattering on the window, and I'm sitting there in the warmth, just playing GoldenEye.
I was painting the scene in my head, and I was there with you.
Yeah. Took me on a
I think
that was a journey.
I think it was like mostly Nintendo. Oh, I'm Nathan, by the way. Hello. I don't think it was the first game I played. I don't think I'm going to be able to remember what my first game was. But it was probably like Donkey Kong Country and like stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? They were like the games of the day. But it was also probably like Call of Duty 2.
Oh, man.
Like it depends on like what avenue you're looking down. Like, the FPS avenue and like the game avenue. Like I consider them two different paths. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty 2 started that, and then I don't know. It's going to be something super Donkey Kong Country era, but I don't know what game.
Fair enough. Last but not least.
Hey guys, my name's Robbie, or Robman101 as I play on League. My first game to play was probably the original Zelda on Nintendo 64.
Ooh, strong.
That is the original, I'm not too
original
sure.
was in the 2D one?
Oh, then no.
You mean Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
Where you go up the tree?
Yes. and ride a little horsey. Yeah, me and my dad used to play that. And then, like Rich, I also played Command & Conquer, the original. Me and my dad used to set a screen up behind each other on the PlayStation
That's
1
so good.
and play against each other.
So like back-to-back screens?
Yeah.
That's quality.
Yeah. Before LAN play, before you had this all internet stuff.
Have you seen those pictures of like this internet stuff?
Sounds so old.
Have you seen those pictures of where like they have a sheet between the split screen and someone sits under the sheet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's the crew. We're gonna move on to a game. I'm starting it with a game, guys. It's the start of the tournament. There's going to be a game every single pod.
Tournament?
Yeah, well, how many pods there's going to be? Hopefully more than one, because if not, it's a very short tournament.
You got a prize?
Got what?
You got a prize?
I can come up with a prize.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a prize.
Yeah, sure.
Comments
prize.
below, what should the prize be within a £1 to £3 budget? The game is called Closest Wins. It's very, very, very straightforward, so anyone can play. So, to start with, we're going to take some whiteboards. So I'm going to take my one. Take one, pass them on, please, my friends. And the beauty of Closest Wins is you can play at home. We can all play together.
Cheers.
Can you pass that pen along?
That last one's for Pash.
Pass that pen along.
Another one of our friends.
Where are we at?
That's me.
I don't really think I need one, but I'll have
And the
one anyway,
rubbers.
just in case. Oh, you don't need the rubbers quite yet. Cool. So, the game is so straightforward. Closest wins. I'm going to be asking you a question. The person that guesses the closest to the answer wins.
Loses?
Absolutely. So, here's the question.
Right.
What is the largest amount of in real life money that has been spent on an in-game item? So
What, one single transaction?
So yeah, I'm not talking riot points. So I'm not saying you keep pumping riot points onto your League of Legends account. One example might be, and I don't know anything really about World of Warcraft, but there might be 10 swords ever released into the World of Warcraft universe, and one of the guys who wants that sword has paid £10,000 IRL to someone to get one of those swords.
Yeah, that's going to be like Ashbringer.
So,
if people know what
guys, the only clue I'm going to give you is think big. Don't be wusses when it comes to this. Think Bonnie money.
Oh, you big dough.
I'm talking big dough too.
Yeah.
So think about some of the Counter-Strike knowledge that I know that these guys have about how much some guns might be worth.
Some young gun.
Ooh. That one stuck up. That was the stuck up for me. Cool.
We spoke about this shit.
We did. I didn't practice the burping.
By the way, we're not sponsored by any of the products you see today.
Facts.
Beat.
And just to be very clear, when I what?
We're sponsored by Veet.
Make sure you get that butthole nice and clean.
Oh God. He's gone deep.
Deep with V. When I give these answers, these are going to be the answers, okay? So I don't want any. Oh no, that can't be right.
Are we doing our answers or your answers first?
You're going to show your answers first.
That's smart.
Bro, who brought him along?
Whoa! It's our first pod, guys. It's the first one. He's written his name on the other side.
Copycats.
Oh, that's a great idea because that means people remember who we are, right?
Oh, we don't have name tags.
Oh, hike.
Name
Hike.
tags.
No.
Hike.
Was that not
No. There's children watching.
You didn't see that. You didn't see that.
God, I hope they didn't. Sweet. So, let's see. We'll go from Richo first. We'll always aim to go from Richard's side
Hi,
first.
Wow.
Do you guys need more time, or are you happy with your answers?
Yeah, I got something.
We're
Cool.
good?
So, just as a reminder, the largest amount of in real life money spent on an in-game item on a video game, or spent within the video game.
Everyone's got it.
Okay? I'm
Everyone's
just making
got
sure.
Yeah.
Cool, let's go.
I keep questioning.
Oh, hang on a minute. I better write this down,
it.
actually.
Who's going first?
We're going to go Richard first.
Oh, Richard first. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Tell us why. Tell us why you've put it as well.
I don't know. I don't know whether to use like the British pound sterling
Oh, you got to choose one. Choose one.
or USD.
Different
Oh,
A different number.
I didn't think about that.
Do you know
The
what?
majority of them are in USD, so I think I'm going to stick with USD.
Good choice.
500k,
Change
500,000.
mine to USD.
And if I had to guess, I think it would probably be something in the realms of like, CS:GO skin or something to do with like World of Warcraft.
Okay. Richard's gone for 500k. Ike, what you got?
I just didn't put currency because I'm smart. I can just
That
go
is smart,
anything.
actually.
Yeah. And I think this is probably like from World of Warcraft, like the Ashbringer sword, if you know what that is, or it's probably going to be like CS:GO, where it's like a special knife or a gun that has particular stickers on from an event. But I've gone for 2 million.
2 million. Whoa, big.
And that's actually how much I have in my bank.
What was your number, Rich? Sorry.
500k.
500k. Okay.
Okay. Nate Dog?
Right, I'm gonna keep it straightforward.
Mhm.
No speech from me.
No.
1.5 million.
1.5 million.
1.5 million. I thought that was going to be the biggest, to be honest with you.
Cool.
Jack's is well big.
I've just got a 1 million.
We've literally got
That's
500, 1 million, 1.5, 2 mil.
Cool. I've got a top 10. We're going to go through them and just see if we can come up with some sort of discussion about each one. We're going to see what we've got to think about each of them. Okay?
All right.
Well, so,
Okay.
what do you mean, like a top 10?
I've
Top
got a
10
top-
He's going to build us up
all
to
the
the
things.
answer.
Okay.
Exactly what he just said.
Okay.
First one is from RuneScape.
Oh, yeah.
We spoke about it at Comic-Con. Yeah. The blue party hat on RuneScape. Anyone want to guess how much that was?
15k.
$4,500. So it just became a really sought after in-game item. It was in one event. It had a really, really rare drop rate. And now if you ever see anyone online in this blue party hat, basically $4,500.
I think I had that hat back in the day. I genuinely think I did. But then I deleted my RuneScape account.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
So you just
10.
binned $4,500. basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's my life, really. Take it to the comments. Next one.
Next one? Okay. Number 9. Some of these games I haven't heard of, okay? So bear that in mind when I'm not necessarily going to know exactly what you do in these games.
What's the game?
EVE Online.
Eve.
Oh, yeah, mate. Eve's huge.
Eve's massive.
You know,
Eve.
That's what I'm in.
Space game.
Well, it was in
Yeah.
capitals, so and with anyway. Revenant Super Carrier, $9,000.
There's big money in that game.
Okay.
So apparently here it just shows the scale of Eve's in-game economy. It's a super carrier. It's a rare and beautiful spacecraft. $9,000 is how much someone is willing to pay for this.
Yeah, there's like wars in that game over certain spaceships. Like people probably use lots of actual money to make sure there's like alliances in your particular group to then beat other. It's a massive game. So
I'm glad you know,
I can definitely
because-
believe that.
Yeah, Anyone else heard of Eve here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so just me.
I see a
Just
very,
you.
I see a very brief YouTube video on the economy of it.
Yeah.
And like people, it's like taken very, very seriously.
It's meant to be a very good game, but it's also a game that's like an extremely drawn out process.
Yeah.
Right.
It literally takes
Yeah.
from here to here.
It's like a life
2
sentence.
moons is like
It's a game that'll take
Real
a life
time.
sentence.
Jeez. $9,500 though. Can you imagine you've just opened up your PC one day and you've just gone, I'm going to spend $9,500 on this?
I don't know where they get the
Actually
money
think
from.
about it.
billionaires who's got
don't
too
know-
much time.
I don't know where people get the money
It's
from. They must
crazy,
be really wealthy to drop that much on an in-game item.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going to World of Warcraft next. It was always going to come up, weren't it? If I'm pronouncing this wrong, sorry. Zeuzo, Zeuzo. It's a level 70 Night Elf Rogue. It was an account sold for $9,500, $9,500 just for an account.
I can imagine
Big.
that account was sold because of the mounts that are on that account. So it's not the account. It's easy to get a Night Elf Rogue, right? But maybe it's the name, but it could be because of the mounts. Because those are
mounts.
super rare.
Okay.
What's it say? Is there anything to it?
Carrier came fully equipped with the best available gear at the time. That's
Yeah.
it, just the best available gear. Cool. We're now going to Diablo 3. $14,000 for this item. The Echoing Fury Mace. So essentially, what I've got written here is it's a legendary weapon. It's known for its superior stats and unique fear effect. So just stats and its effect that's on this weapon apparently. But again,
Jesus.
14 grand.
That's a lot.
Big money.
A mace.
It's whales,
It's
right? That's what they call them. When people spend so much money on games and such, they're called whales because people know that there's like random millionaires or even like just really rich people that are going to spend money on these things.
yeah.
Or daddy's wallet.
Oh, Dad's wallet, yeah. According to Robbie.
We'll go into another game that I haven't heard of. If you guys have heard of it, let me know.
Yeah, I know that one.
Entropia Universe.
Nope.
No.
Entropia Universe.
We'll get through this one quickly, I reckon.
$26,500.
a lot.
Treasure Island. It's just a universe that was created on this game. $26,500. It has loads of opportunities for hunting, mining, and profiting with various in-game exploits. Basically, Ireland, $26,500.
Cool.
Second Life. Anyone heard of the game Second Life?
Nope.
Classic. That was a whole ordeal back in
Was
the
it?
days. Yeah.
See, I haven't heard of it either. 50,000 someone spent on Amsterdam. Someone essentially made a replica of Amsterdam City on this game and sold it for $50,000.
Wow.
Jesus.
But actually, again, I know we spoke about all the other figures, but 50 grand just out of your bank account for that.
For Amsterdam.
For Amsterdam.
I own Amsterdam now.
Basically.
That kind of reminds me a little bit of this new virtual reality world type stuff where there's like virtual malls
Oh,
and
that
people
Earth
are
2.
like people are like buying like shops in virtual reality, and then I think the aim is that one day they'll rent them out to like Gucci, for example, who will then you'll then be able to like go into a Gucci store which is rented within virtual reality using your headset.
Yeah.
So if you live in like Iceland, for example, you can go and see all the Gucci stuff up close.
Have you seen this? Have you seen the Walmart one? Have you guys seen the Walmart one? So basically, it's like you do all your shopping in VR, where you've got a little trolley, and you're actually going down the aisles, picking out the stuff, putting it in a trolley, and then at the end, you buy it from Walmart using whatever credit card you set up pre whatever, and then it ships all of it to your house.
The world's crazy.
It's just Amazon with extra steps.
Yeah.
Basically, I have to actually walk down the aisle to actually get it. And there was a point where they picked up like a bottle of wine and put it in the trolley, and this woman popped up from Walmart and she was like, "Don't worry, we've already pre-scanned your ID to know that you can buy the wine. What's going to you pick up a pack of condoms and it's like, oh, sorry, we actually pre-scanned. Those are too large for you."
anything can happen, literally. So big jump, guys. 50k was the last one. We're now at number 4. We're going to Counter-Strike. The M4A4 Howl, $215,000. Okay,
That's a lot.
CS:GO, it's a skin. You guys all know about CS:GO and the skins in that. So 215k. Again, the thought of dropping that much money, basically $250,000
For a skin,
on a game.
in a game
Crazy.
is just mental. I'll do it.
Yeah, but the thing, you don't lose value on these.
True.
Yeah.
Like, especially with Counter-Strike, you don't lose your money.
Yeah.
No.
If anything goes up, I guess.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, legit, it does.
Number 3, we're back on Entropia Universe.
Oh, really?
Crystal Palace Space Station. Free.
A classic.
We've all been there.
Is that referring to the sports team?
I don't know. $330,000
Oh, right.
for
Well,
this. So we're losing our way, Rich. I think maybe.
yeah, I think by the time we get to number
Yeah.
1, we're going to be blowing out 500k.
Yeah, I think you're done.
I
mate.
won't go
You're
into
already
too
out.
much detail, but basically, a space station on this game, 330,000. Crazy. Entropia Universe again for number 2.
Jesus.
600.
God, it's just all of it, isn't it?
It is.
We don't even know what it is.
No one knows what it is.
It's probably like Japanese or Chinese, like server games or whatever. Though, because they're massive by
We
themselves.
should look it up after this.
We should get it up. Hey, if you've played Entropia Universe,
What's it about?
What are you doing with your life?
You have too much money.
Well, you the one who built this?
You're loaded. Number 2 is called Club Never Die, $635,000. Entropia Universe. Okay.
Jesus.
If you've played in Entropia Universe, check out our Patreon.
Hype, get the tears going quick. Number 1, Planet Calypso. Guess what game it's on?
Oh, I don't know. Could be the same.
Entropia?
Entropia Universe.
Okay, yeah.
$6 million.
Jesus.
Wow.
$6 million. It broke all previous records, obviously, for the astronomical price tag. 6 mil. Crazy. I've got a link to all that information, which I'm sure we can share, and you guys can obviously look through if you don't believe me, but Robbie, do you want to verify? 6
Yeah, no, it says 6 million.
Hike,
that's me.
you have won the very first game of closest wins.
I feel so special.
I nearly put 10 million,
Well done.
and I rubbed out the 0 because I thought that
go
was too
big,
high.
didn't I said,
You did.
think big.
He did say that.
But what was big? I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, true. What is big?
What is big?
Just check
In-game
out
thing.
down here, mate. I'll let you know.
Hey.
Nathan knows exactly what big is.
2 inches.
Are we done with these?
We are. Did you guys enjoy the game?
I did enjoy
Very
the game.
good.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
They cost me like 12
Yeah, steady on. Steady on.
Yeah.
Don't tell him how much.
Entropia Universe.
That's where all his lover's money going to. He actually bought that £6 million planet.
Yeah, I own that. I own Planet Calypso. We're going to have a break in about 5 minutes, but just before we hit that break, what do you guys think about handheld gaming? Just jump in whenever you want. Who wants to go first? Handheld gaming, how do you feel about it?
I personally don't play any handheld games.
No handhelds?
Nope, don't own anything.
Yeah,
I only play on the PC.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, it doesn't. I don't think it really is much of a thing anymore because of mobile. The mobile is handheld gaming now. It's not as good. There's no way it's as good, but it's just too convenient.
Okay.
So you're just not going to get sales on a handheld console, are you? Obviously, how many years has it been since the 3DS?
God.
And there hasn't been a good one since then.
Well, Switch.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I've completely destroyed you.
Yeah, but it's also it's
Wrecked.
well, it is handheld, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you guys want to know when the
The
3DS
Switch is
came
great.
out?
Oh,
3DS release date?
can I guess?
Go on.
So I was working in
You got it in
game.
front of you.
Oops, got that
I was working in game at the time, around about when those kind of devices were coming out. So I'm gonna put it back to 2012.
Oh, I was going to
That's
say 2013.
Is it good?
Very good.
What was he right?
Very close.
Oh,
So-
man.
2011.
Oh.
That's impressive, yeah. So 26th of February 2011. Pretty yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think I was really thinking my answer through. I think with the Switch in mind, I think with the Switch in mind that I'm all for it.
Everyone's completely
Clarify, I do own a Switch.
They've gone from not to in it. We've got about 2 minutes, Rich. Anything to add about handheld?
Oh man, I just remember putting the point of sale stuff up for that, but it's not really for me. Handhelds, really. I mean, last handheld was probably like the Game Boys, man. Like
My last one was Game Boy Advance.
yeah.
Can
Taking
I
it
ask you a
right
question, Rich?
back. Go on.
Because I've never spoke to you about when you worked in game. What was like the most popular thing of your time in game? Like, what was the thing at the time? To give us an idea of like the gaming era that it was.
Well, the most mainstream thing would have been FIFA and COD.
Ah,
That's
such a
what.
lame.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But like more niche, like there was whole sections dedicated towards like World of Warcraft stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the bays within the shop, that was quite popular.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
but you had bays for everything. So you'd have bays for like Wii stuff. You'd have bays for Xbox and PlayStation. There'd be like multiple bays. But
Did you work any midnight releases?
yeah. I actually worked. I think I worked like some FIFAs. I worked some CODs. But I think I worked one on my birthday, which I think would have been about 2012, because the subsequent year I went off to uni and I quit just before that. But like 2012, I worked a release on my birthday, 27th of September. I don't know what it was. We could probably look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Yeah, look up like
What games come out on the 27th of September
2012.
2012?
Yeah.
And what's the last 4 digits of your credit card number as well?
What was the date?
we can censor the birthday. Wait, we can't talk about the game though if we censor it. We either do both or none.
Yeah, we could do. No, we can.
Okay.
Because I don't know how.
I'm just giving you that option.
Well, I don't think you can link that through. It's just a birthday.
Madden.
No.
Was it the 27th of September?
Adams.
Did you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, it would have been that night, or like the 26th, or maybe the 20.
I'll have to have a proper look. I'm getting
20
some rubbish up here.
Yeah.
Tell you what, why don't we find out and bring it to the after break?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to call it just for 2 seconds and we'll come straight back. Cool. I'm going ghost. No chance! Nah! No! Welcome back to Talk Bits, the podcast presented to you guys by the 4-Bit crew. We couldn't find out what game, loads of games came out according to the internet for when Rich last worked, so we gave up on that, we dropped it. But we did speak about handheld gaming. So, I feel like this has slipped under the radar a little bit, and that's why I want to bring it up with you guys and everyone watching. Do you guys know there is a brand new PSP coming out?
No.
Classic.
Did anyone know?
I feel like I heard about it once.
Heard about it one time.
When it cancelled, like the PSP came out with Classic, but then like a few years later there were rumours of it, and then Sony scrapped
Yeah,
it.
I feel like
Really?
PlayStation and their portable era kind of lost its way a little bit because it started off really strongly and then it just seemed to fall apart. I don't remember what they were even called.
Yeah, but I think they did the Vita and it was just like
That was it.
the same
Yeah,
as the PSP.
yeah.
But worse, I think. I never actually owned one, so I don't know.
No, same.
So this is
I had a
good.
normal PSP though.
a normal one. I had a standard one as well, I think.
played Liberty City on
PSP
it.
2000? Was there a PSP 2000?
PSP 2000.
Have I made it up? I made it up.
I've never heard of a
You made it up.
PSP
I'm
2000.
just making it up. Believe it or not, this device, the PSP, which is actually the PlayStation Portal. Now, whether they deliberately wanted it to be PSP again, don't know. It comes out on the 15th of November.
Oh.
Comes out in like days.
The,
It's out now.
the marketing.
It's out now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
The marketing team are doing bits on that one.
No, but listen,
Yeah.
do you not see what I mean? So this brand new thing, and no one knew anything about it. And this is PlayStation. This is Sony. None of you lot knew about a new console coming out.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think it's just going to be blown out the water because Steam Deck, right? It's literally the god tier of portables outside of the Switch, because obviously Switch is all Nintendo. But Steam Deck, you can. I'm pretty sure you can play anything on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't like be like on a bus and play it. I could be wrong, but I thought the point of like the Steam Deck and like the Asus ROG one was that you can play games remotely connecting to your computer, and it works then as a deck for it. I could be totally wrong. It's probably got a hard
No,
drive on
that's
it to
Steam
install something as
Play. Because I could play a game from my computer downstairs on my TV just through the Wi-Fi, as long as I had a remote which I can
Yeah,
connect to
no,
it.
I think I am wrong. Actually.
So
Let me give you some specs, because I'm sure you want to hear about it because no one knows about it. And we'll probably link it in the description somewhere. But imagine a PS5 controller, and this is literally it, with a screen in the middle. It's cut in half.
Let me have a look.
PS5 controller, cut in half, screen in the middle. Looks good, right?
PS5 controller.
I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
We'll bring
yeah.
it on screen as well.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure about this, and I'll tell you at the end of my description why I'm not sure, and I think you lot might pick up on it as I go. It plays games over Wi-Fi that are in your PS5 library. So let that sink in.
okay.
You have to own a PS5 to play the PlayStation Portal. So this console, this handheld, useless unless you have the PS5.
And wireless.
And
you
just-
can't play anywhere else.
Sony recommends at least a 5 megabytes per second. No, it works at 5 megabytes per second, but Sony recommends 15 megabytes per second, if not redundant.
Easy.
So let me go over a bit more. £199 is the price tag. The screen is 1080p, 60 frames per second. You play it over Wi-Fi. 8-inch LCD screen. Like I said, it's not a standalone console. So with how poor the advertising has been on this, imagine, because PS5 is 400 to 500 quid, aren't they? Something like that.
Yeah.
So imagine little Timmy couldn't have a PS5 because they're dear. They're dear. But
Poor
little Timmy's mum's gutted because Jimmy's mum's got the PS5 for Jimmy. Timmy can't have a PS5. So Timmy's mum spoke to Jimmy's mum, and they figured out that there's this PlayStation Portal coming out for just $199, and they've gone, brilliant, I can afford that. I can get that for little Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy on Christmas Day, he's downstairs on Robbie. Can't play it.
I think it's all quite justifiable actually, because you say we haven't heard about it, but it's clearly not a console. It's not its own console.
But
It's a
then,
gimmick.
yeah, but then on top of that, you're playing your games over Wi-Fi on something that looks like it's probably going to be pretty well built, and it's only 200 quid.
But
Like, you got to keep in mind the price point.
But my mum would see that and go, that's just going to play the video games for my son. My mum's going to have no idea. She's got no tech savviness. I don't know about your guys' parents, but my mum's going to watch me unwrap that and go, I can't play this.
Yeah, but how did you find out about it?
From Googling and researching.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not marketing it, are they?
No, but that's what I'm worried about, is that there's no marketing effort, and parents are going to go out there and buy this thing thinking they're just going to be able to plug in and play. They can't. They need a PS5 to play.
Another thing, we didn't see anything about it at Comic-Con either.
Not a thing.
You would have think that, like, because there were, like, Final Fantasy buses, because of Final Fantasy Remake 2, you would have think, because they had a bit of a Sony presence and that sort of presence there.
It was just for Tekken, wasn't it?
No,
There was other games.
Was-
Didn't zoom in on them, but there were other games.
It's crazy to me to think that none of us who do play games, and even people that have PlayStation 5s, haven't heard. You know what I haven't seen? Anything on the PlayStation 5 itself
Right?
for advertising for it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I before this pod, I googled when this is coming out 4 or 5 times to make sure that I hadn't got it wrong, because no one knew anything about it. But just imagine Christmas Day, you can't do nothing with your main gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because back in the day, when the game shops were open. Maybe they're still open in
Back in the day.
big major cities. But I remember when I was working in game, like we would advise the parents. So like they would come in. And I remember selling, like they'd be talking about Xboxes and stuff, and I'd say, oh, you know, this one doesn't have like a very big storage on the hard drive on the Xbox 360.
Class, yeah.
And like saying to them, I'd recommend buying, and they're like, I don't know what that means. And I just said like, you know, you're going to use up the memory on it so quickly that the next time a download update comes for GTA 5, because this was about the time that GTA 5 was coming out. That's what everyone was buying them at the time. And it was like, your child's not going to be able to play it.
And you're like, I'm not even upselling you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to advise. Yeah, I'm just trying to advise. But like, so that's probably where the gap is.
But they've been doing that for, like, even with the PlayStation 5, I bet there have been people that have gone out there, their son or daughter wants a PlayStation 5, and they've bought the PlayStation 5 and then realised they bought the one that doesn't have discs, even though they've just bought 5 games for it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been doing it for a
Guarantee
while.
that's happened.
Yeah, guarantee it. It's been going for a while, so I feel like PlayStation is just like, there's going to be some people that probably return them. Who cares? Like,
it baffled me when I was digging into it, and when I read the bit saying you need the PS5 for this to play, I thought to myself, that's crazy. That I bet there'll be loads of mistakes. I don't know what you think. Rob, but
It's a gimmick, really. It's just an additional
money
thing
grab.
so you can play in your face instead of on a screen.
Yeah.
So, like, say your missus is watching some TV or something, and you can play next door to her because you don't care about whatever's on it.
I'm genuinely not trying to just be devil's advocate here. I think it sounds kind of cool.
Okay, I think it sounds
I actually
cool,
do.
but I'm nervous for the parents that don't understand and like the kids who think this is just going to be a Go console because it ain't gonna work.
But like, come on. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but-
it's clearly not being marketed as a console. Otherwise, there'd literally be adverts. For
Yeah,
it. It's probably the
true.
sort of thing that you're just going to see within PlayStation itself when you start your PlayStation up. It's probably just going to be pushed out as like as that kind of notification for PlayStation users.
Could you, though, have an online PlayStation store where you own the games on there still without owning a PlayStation 5?
You
Because
can
it's
do
all
that,
streamed
it's
on.
not.
Probably.
So
I mean, I didn't-
you don't need the PlayStation on to play it on this.
Yeah, but I
console,
think
do
it's
you?
streaming from the PlayStation storage by the sounds of it.
from.
But
how
then
I
if the
understand
PlayStation 5 is not on, you don't have the PlayStation 5 on while doing it.
Yeah,
right
but
in
your
face.
PlayStation can be on, and in terms of the drives can be on.
I don't know.
When the orange lights are on, you're downloading. Your drives are active, but your PlayStation's not.
Oh,
Just like that.
Like that, yeah.
Just like
Okay.
I looked relatively deeply into it, but not to the clarity to know that information.
This is like you know that when you have the telly and you can, is it porting from your phone to your telly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like that, but from the PS5 to the handheld. It's like that in reverse.
Literally.
I just don't like the idea of you needing 2 things. That's the catch there, right? Because I think the idea of being able to play the same games that you can play on a PlayStation on a handheld, much like Steam Deck, much like Switch, is a really cool idea and they should do it. I just don't like the idea that it's like this is something additional on top of your PlayStation. I feel like essentially it's a bit of a money grab to say, look at this really cool idea. You can play games upstairs and you blah blah downstairs. And they have to get a PlayStation. Tack that on. Put that in the bundle.
Yeah.
It's like ecosystem building. It's like Apple do it as well, right? Because like you get the iPad. Well, it has like good synergy with the iPhone.
Yes.
And so maybe it's like a bit of a thing to try and build out like a ecosystem of devices.
And it might continue like down a music route or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sony Music.
Sony Music.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Sony Music, where you can only use them. You can only use the headset if you've got PlayStation 5.
Isn't Sony Music something that's already been tried and failed?
Probably.
I swear that like was actually a thing.
I think it's just a record label.
Oh, I
It
think
might
you're
just
right,
be a
you're
record.
right.
Yeah.
Rather than a
That's a good
service.
point.
Yeah.
It's
It's just
a
record label.
Yeah, it's a label. You're
You know
right.
how they have Sony Film, Sony Music.
Let's branch off a little bit. What was your favourite handheld console, if any? Did you ever have one? And
I had the original Game Boy.
the grey one.
Yeah, and the Advance. Yeah, probably the Advance because I haven't had one since. So
that goes to show. Last console you had was the handheld was the Game Boy Advance.
yep. Or I had a small
SP.
SP Flip. I don't know what was out first or after.
SP.
Remember the SP?
Still up
That
here.
was a good one.
But Pokemon on it.
I think that I think the Advance is the one that got me into it most. Although I did have a color at one point. I think the one that I was like most excited to get and played the most time on was the what was it called? The DS? What was the little square one? The tiny little square one that flipped, but the very, very,
That's
very
SP, isn't
first
it?
one.
Yeah.
That was the SP.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'm in the
Oh,
SP.
no, busy when that came out.
Yeah, and I had a purple one with like a black tribal sign on it.
Nice.
Oh,
I remember that. I
Do you
remember seeing
actually
that.
remember it?
Yeah. I remember his tribal sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it up. But yeah, I can't.
I want to jump in and say I think everybody's.
tribal purple SP.
2003, the SP, by the way, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, not too long ago then.
I
20 years.
think I've had a lot of handhelds. So from the original Pokemon, the whatever Game Boys, all the way up to obviously a Switch now. Switch is like groundbreaking. But in just terms of my nostalgia, obviously the Pokemon Blue stuff is all and whatnot is great. But I remember specifically the one that I got really hyped for and that broke a lot of boundaries and I have a lot of memories for is the Nintendo DS. There were points where we would go on field trips or whatever and everybody had a DS, but one person had Mario Kart, but then everybody could play it because everybody would link to that one Mario Kart. And
remember that!
the entire bus actually played Mario Kart. There was
Wow.
like 7 Shy Guys or whatever.
You literally unlocked a memory.
Yeah,
Now
right?
I can picture it now. Oh, that
and
was so
that's got the
good.
most nostalgia, but it had the whole touchpad thing
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could put old games in the back of it, so you could put DS games, and you could put SP like the Game Boy, the Advance
And colour.
Yeah, because I played that. I love Pokemon Emerald, and that's where I played it the most in the DS itself. So I think the DS was like most nostalgia, like really likes Mario Kart. Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. So I think there's a lot of ones that take it, and obviously I'm a big Switch fan, but I genuinely think the DS has a lot of memories and was massive. I mean,
game breaking.
Nintendo's always done it, right? They always hit the next level. So. What about you?
Oh no! For me, it's like Robbie. It's like it's the Pokemon stuff. But do you know your thing about saying about the links on the buses and stuff? That reminds me. That reminds me of those trading cables. Do you remember the trading cables? And like someone would get their new whatever it was called, like the whatever model of the Game Boy they had, and then you'd use the trading cables to like get all of the original Pokemon. So like they'd start, so they'd start up like a new game and get like X, Y, and Z, and then trade it to you for like a Rattata or something like that.
Rattata.
And then, or what, Rattata? The Rattata.
I remember when they changed it for the Rattata.
It evolves into a Rattata.
Mate,
I remember though.
I can't remember what it was called. Like, what is it? Rattata?
No, you got the letters right.
You just
I was in
pronounced it
I
beautifully.
was in the realm.
You were.
You went a little bit too Queen's English on it.
Yeah. King now. King.
Oh yeah.
King
Well,
English.
that was the only way to get like your Alakazams, right?
Yeah.
You had to have the little dodgy trading cable and a friend.
You had to trade. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been a fish. You had to trade a fish in order to.
Magikarp?
Yeah, was it a Magikarp? You had to trade it in order to make it evolve. Otherwise, it was not.
It was a Magikarp.
Was it Magikarp?
It wasn't.
It's the only fish I know in Pokemon.
It was.
There was one. That,
It was Golem. It was the Geodude line, right?
You
You
had-
Graveler,
to get the Golem.
Graveler to Golem, and there was also Kadabra to Alakazam.
oh man,
Yeah.
with the spoons.
Wouldn't people just trade? Wouldn't people just trade Magikarp though, just because you got XP and you traded it? Didn't they get XP when you traded? I thought that was a thing.
I really
I
don't.
can't remember.
I don't know.
No, you just did. You just did for Magikarp. You just put Magikarp in first, switch it out, and then kill whoever you're fighting, and then the Magikarp would also get the XP.
So
Oh yeah.
what we've decided basically is off the back of this is that no one's mentioned PlayStation again. We've all just gone Nintendo.
Yep.
Right. So we kind of decided that Nintendo is the handheld sort of kings, if you see what I'm saying.
Yes.
We've gone Game Boy, Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance, and
Well,
Nintendo are just leading the way.
I had a PSP,
Yeah.
and the only in my opinion, the only thing that the PSP was good for, and I spent lots of hours on the PSP, but mainly because I watched Dodgeball, the movie, maybe like 50 times.
Your playtime was just
It was literally, oh, you can play this cool robot game. No, thank you. Dodgeball again, please.
No, I literally just used that as like a portable DVD player.
Yeah,
It had like
yeah.
all my pirated films on there.
Me, I'm talking about like actually putting the disc in for Dodgeball.
Oh, really?
And it's just all the pirated
Just
films.
select.
FBI, get him.
Wrong
Cool.
country.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna intro this last little bit, have a bit of a discussion. We might have to then quickly squeeze in another cheeky break, and then we'll finish up. Sound good?
Sounds
Alright.
perfect.
Awesome. So, Lord of the Rings fans in the room. We like Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
We do.
All of us?
Yeah.
Favourite Lord of the Rings films out of the three? Or
Sorcerer.
include the Hobbit as well.
Philosopher's Stone.
Correct.
He's right.
He was going to say the Sorcerer's Stone.
He was!
Yeah.
Which is being American friendly.
That's why Hike said field trip instead of school trip. Did anyone else got that? Because I did. So, what you got? Favourite Lord of the Rings out of all of them?
Two Towers.
Yeah, I'm Two
Best
Towers.
fight.
I'm Two Towers as well.
I'm not good at putting the names to the specific films, but the one where there's the big tower in the middle and all the orcs are coming out of the ground and the forest nearby is getting absolutely wrecked. That
Two
one.
Towers.
There you go.
Two Towers.
That's the one.
I think Two Towers has got to be everybody's favourite because there's like it's Two Towers is Helm's Deep, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are going to say it. But the first one for me has all the classic sort of moments, right? Like meeting Gandalf for the first time and Frodo and the whole, my axe and all that sort of stuff, right? I think really, and it has lots of really cool Aragorn moments when you're meeting him for the first time in the Prancing Pony or whatever, where he's like smoking in the back.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure I'm getting the movie right here. Boromir
Yeah.
fighting down the orcs, letting
Yeah.
Frodo and whoever
That was-
Frodo's with
yeah,
run
his
away.
redemption
That's
arc.
That's
He
fellowship,
keeps
isn't it?
getting hit
Yeah.
by the
Yeah,
arrows,
that's
doesn't he?
fellowship.
And he
Yeah.
keeps going.
That's a great.
Three
That's a great
arrows.
scene.
That's
a great
one.
scene.
That's probably like one of the best scenes. I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, it is.
I think the best thing about that Boromir's character is like the difference between like the fall of man being corrupted by the ring and everything. Obviously, Aragorn's not like human; he's Numenor or whatever. But like, I just love that juxtaposition, and then he redeems himself. Right? Everybody gives Boromir a bad rap, but man actually held it down for Frodo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Was it before or after that he was Lord of Winterfell?
After. Yeah. Resurrection.
Yeah, I think that might be after. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
a few thousand years after. or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the orcs and everything had been taken care of, and then it was
White Walkers.
then it was
Yeah.
White Walkers beyond the wall.
What about Return of the... are there any... we've already said, but are there any Return of the King fans here or in the comments?
I like Return of the King. I think the scene where Aragorn does that, you bow to no one, that gets
Yeah.
me every single
Yeah.
time.
A singular
Right at the
tear.
end, yeah, just a singular tear when the hobbits don't bow or whatever happens. You think I remember
Yeah.
because I care so much.
Oh man, you
No, it's because they saved Middle Earth.
Do you remember
You're
that?
giving me goosies.
You're thinking
man.
about it.
You're giving
Yeah.
me goosies.
Yeah. That is
Here's
it.
a challenge for you. What's the name of the city that they're in when that scene happens? Because they're up on that, up on the
Gondor.
thing that looks over.
Gondor, isn't it?
Gondor.
Yeah,
Would you call it Peter
oh,
Mutter?
sorry.
Because I thought of the tree of Gondor, and I was like, oh, Gondor.
Yeah.
Because that's the
But that's
one
tree
innit?
from
I think.
Numenor.
Let me give you a trivia.
Okay.
Where
Ooh.
which city did they meet Galadriel?
Rivendell.
No.
No. It's the forest. It's in the forest.
Oh, but that's not a
It's when the arrows
remember
come
the
up
name
to
of
her.
That's a forest.
Because
Oh, was it?
It's just the forest.
he's thinking high elves, but we're talking wood elves,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Is it the forest
I
with the
can't-
spiders?
I can't remember.
No. No.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Do you
it's-
remember what it's called?
But that's. Is it Mirkwood? The forest that they're in?
No, it's not Mirkwood. It's Lothlorien.
Oh, Loth.
Oh, bloody hell, Stu.
Come
Oh,
on.
how did I not know that?
Come on, guys.
Okay.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings is... For those of you watching, apart from the fact that nobody knew what Lothlorien was, we're all big Lord of the Rings fans. So
The games as well.
The
Oh,
games.
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
Oh,
It's one of the best.
Don't get me started.
I think there wasn't
Wasn't
there
there
a
no Battle for Middle-earth 2? We never played it?
Oh man.
I've never played, other than obviously the Mines of Moria as of recent history, I've never played a Lord of the Rings game.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
And I don't think that any of them really look that good.
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
Yeah, that is class. That is really
You would have
good.
liked
Yeah.
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
Yeah.
The RTS.
Yeah, RTS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Stu sometimes play it still.
Wait,
Do ya?
Yeah.
You've found a way to get that on your
I
computer
got
and
it at
running
home.
well.
I'll be able to give it to you.
You can sort this out. Very nice.
what about? Does nobody else remember the was it PlayStation 2 Return of the King Lord of the Rings game?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
played it, but I wasn't good at it.
That was the
Everyone's
you could play
crying out for a re-release of that. I think.
you could play Gandalf.
Okay.
The white. Sorry, yeah, not the grey. Sorry,
No,
all the grey fans out there.
I feel bad. Nate, I thought I'd be talking about Lord of the Rings and everyone would be diving in, but I feel like you're not quite on the same...
Yeah, I am, but just not with the games.
Not with the games.
Yeah, I've never sold on the games at the time. I remember when you boys used to play them.
Yeah.
I wasn't sold on them then either.
Never got into them.
No.
Fair enough. What I think we'll do is, before I tell you some big news, is we will take a quick break here, just a quick snap.
You're pregnant.
Find out after the break.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying our first podcast. If you want to see more content like this and you're enjoying some of the other videos on our channel, check out our Patreon, it's linked in the description. But now, let's get back to it.
Welcome back, guys. It's Talk Bits, the 4-bit podcast. We were just speaking about Lord of the Rings a little bit and our favourite films. Did you guys know that there is a new The Lord of the Rings film coming out? Not a Hobbit, not a spin-off. It's The Lord of the Rings.
I
you
did
guys
not.
hear about
Remake or new film?
it? New film.
No.
Any of you guys heard about it?
No. I
To
didn't
be honest,
know
no. But and it's good that you said what you said because I'd normally be quite skeptical. I'd be like, oh, they're doing some crap spin-off. But is it sticking to... Is it like a continuation of the story of the main films? Like,
Sort of, kind of. It's a bit of a prequel, but at the top of the title it says The Lord of the Rings. There's not
Right.
like The Hobbit or anything like that.
yeah.
The Hobbit didn't have The Lord of the Rings at the top, did it? It's a completely different thing.
I think
I
it just
can't
said The
remember.
It
Hobbit.
just said The Hobbit? I'm sure it just
Thing-
said The Hobbit.
Yeah, I think
you're
it
right.
just said The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I think.
It's called The War of the Rohirrim.
Interesting.
And
that'd be
everyone
good.
loves the Rohirrim. So is it the third one when those horses came
Second.
charging down at seconds?
What, led by
When
Gandalf?
those,
Yeah.
yeah, when all those horses came charging down the hill and yeah. So that's probably why they've made a film about that, because that scene is so iconic. And I'd imagine that's why they've kind of latched onto it.
Yeah.
It is a prequel set 183 years before the events depicted in The Two Towers.
Okay.
183 years before. Comes out, apparently, on the 13th of December 2024.
Calling it right now, you're going to meet Aragorn's parents.
Okay. How do
We've
we
already
Yeah.
met Aragorn's parents. No, we haven't met his parents. We've met his ancestors though. Because of now. Here, my problem is right. We had what's it called? Robbie, hit me with the name. Galadriel,
Yeah.
the newest show. What was the show
Oh,
called?
Rings of
God.
Power.
Rings of Power. Right. We've met. We've now Rings. My only issue is Rings of Power was kind of dodge.
Okay.
We have kind of met. We obviously haven't met Arathorn. That's
Arathorn, son of... No.
Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Son of Arathorn, yeah.
But we have met Isildur
Yeah.
and all that lot, right?
Yeah.
So
How
Yeah,
do you
but
guys
that's
feel?
10,000 years before, isn't it?
What is?
Rings of Power. It's 10,000 years before the battle. Oh no, before. Yeah, Lord of Rings took place. Because at
I didn't
the
actually know that.
it's the Third Age.
it's the beginning of the Third Age, I believe.
I like Lord of the Rings, yeah. And I am a fan. But like, your knowledge, the collective you, is like here. I'm just like that, okay?
Yeah.
So you
Don't
just
judge him.
just got to like bring me up a little.
I'm probably
Yeah.
beneath.
yeah.
all
So
of
it's
that
like
sort
Rich, me, you guys.
Yeah.
So in my vision, Rings of Power is going to end at the opening scene of the Fellowship of the Ring, where they first fight Sauron
Okay.
with the sword chopping his finger off. That is where I see the season ending.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
But
Whoa, hold on. Are we on to season 2?
Not yet, no.
So what are you talking about? What season?
Oh, the whole show in general.
So he meant the
Sorry,
show.
not the season. Sorry.
That's where you got confused.
Yeah,
I thought
sorry.
I missed season 2.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
here's the thing. what Stu said, and he might clarify, that this is X amount of years before Two Towers. Does that mean it's after the Fellowship?
No, it's before the Fellowship.
The description. Well, that's interesting.
Because the Fellowship doesn't last 183 years.
No, well, according to the movies, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's.
But in the books, that whole thing, we see it in the movies where it's like, I don't know, like 3 hours each movie. For them, it's like years.
How long do hobbits live?
Like
I thought they're like
dwarves
100
are like
years.
200, 300, 400.
Yeah, 400, I think. 400, I think.
Hobbits live. I think hobbits live close to dwarves.
But there's men in it. Like, Boromir and Faramir are brothers. And if it's like over 100 years, surely they'll both be dead.
True.
So, I think it's over the course of a few years.
I can't give you any more information from quickly looking. Just 183 years before the Two Towers. So, don't know.
That must. If we were to go by that must be before the Fellowship. So why didn't they just say, oh, it was X years before the Fellowship?
Or before the films in
Yeah,
general.
that's weird.
And it looks as if it's to do with the King of Rohan, apparently, from looking at this. A legendary king.
Isn't that you? Aren't you the King of Rohan?
Last season.
Right, yeah.
Did you lose it?
Oh, I lost it.
Oh,
completely.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
jeez.
dethroned me. But yeah, so Lord of the Rings films, does that excite you? Do you lot hear about, there's another Lord of the Rings coming out, that's going to be awesome, I'm really looking forward to it, or are you like...
They kind of, I feel for me, the writing in the Rings of Power just kind of butchered some of that enthusiasm. And obviously the original trilogy was really, was great. Obviously it's timeless, classic.
Yeah.
But the Hobbit didn't necessarily live up to the same standards. People critique like CGI and stuff like that, and they say that the story's not as good. Anyway, whatever people think of that, I still think is a good trilogy. But the Rings of Power has just kind of killed off some of my excitement for that. But because if the writing quality is as good or as bad as maybe the right way to say it, then I'm not excited.
That's true.
I think the same thing with Lord of the Rings as I do with all the Star Wars spin-offs, which is milk it as much as you fucking want. I love all of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I loved Rings of Power as well.
I enjoyed Rings of Power.
I don't care that it's unpopular, to be honest. Yeah, it's still the same world to me.
It was beautifully
It still
shot.
feels immersive.
Oh, yeah, it's like great sets and stuff, but just like, it's little, like, I give one glaring example was like the amount of distance that people travelled, like Galadriel, covered within the space of like what felt like such a brief amount of time. There was no sense of like travelling, and so things were just happening quickly. 1 minute she was one place, next minute she was the next, like riding in on her horse with all of the homies behind her.
No.
So like, some of that just kind of like took me out of the immersion. I was like, well, hold on a second, how did
here
you get there? Yeah, like how'd that happen?
Then
travel.
if they're just, watching them sitting on a boat, eating on a boat, going there, it's just boring.
I know, yeah, I know.
It's a song about a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, same reason that they didn't just take the Eagles in the first place in the Fellowship.
Oh, that's a classic, isn't it?
We don't talk about
Yeah.
that. No, I think I'm in the same boat as Nath. It's like for anything Lord of the Rings IP, it's got a boost of 10 points. Naturally, because I love it so much.
Nat
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, like classic boost. But the one thing I will be disappointed in, is if they go heavy on CGI. I want them to go back to practical effects.
Yeah.
I want them to go mega heavy. I don't care if it takes them an additional whatever amount of time. They'll probably save money. Well, actually, no.
No.
That's a lie. Sorry, they will not save money. But I just want. I want that same sort of practical effects, and that's what really, really immersed me into all the Uruk-hai and such. They're all people, apart from the blue screens that they used. But you're gonna have to.
And the battle scenes, they made a whole program for it. When I was in New Zealand, I went to Weta Studios, and they went through the process of making the helmets and stuff, and show you how to do it, each stages.
See, that's awesome.
And it is insane.
That is awesome.
the detail.
The parts that when you look back at the original films, the parts that people find weird about those films is when Legolas is running up the elephant.
Yeah.
That I really like that part, but that's the point where I go, oh, that was CGI.
I remember that still only counts as one.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that does.
Yeah.
It only counts as one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only one complaint.
When he kills the elephant, Gimli goes, that only counts as one.
How did I not know that?
That's crazy.
That is so bad. That took you so long.
What are you on about? That only counts as one.
When Legolas takes down the elephant and then he slides off the trunk and then Gimli's like, still only counts as one.
Oh,
They're talking about kills. Like they've got
They
a kill
count.
count going between one another.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Even though he kills like 40 people on top of the
Yeah,
elephant
yeah,
as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
And Legolas didn't even argue it. He still said, all right, one, fine. I'm still going to win.
Robbie, you got to take us more because I didn't know that you went to a studio where you saw that kind of stuff.
Oh.
So like, what did you see?
So basically, Peter Jackson was friends with this couple who started West Studios, and they made all the props for the first trilogy, probably the second whole bit as well. And it's just insane there. They've done loads of films as well since then, but it's awesome. It's like a little museum. They show you through the process. They have like little videos doing it. But like if you've ever been to Harry Potter Studios, they show you how stuff's done as well.
What, so like when you mentioned like software of how they create the armies in the,
They
you see
didn't
on
really show the
screen?
software. It's more the practical stuff.
Yeah.
I've just learned about that after.
Right.
How they made it. So with the software stuff, they made it so each individual like CGI person in the background were having like their own personal fights, and it was all different to the one instead of just mimicking each other. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really quite cool.
It's like on the Fellowship, on the scene that Nath mentioned where he shoots those arrows. I can vividly picture that Uruk-hai that shot those arrows with like, he had like the long hair and stuff, didn't
Yeah.
he? Just zipping in.
The face.
So, yeah, I can picture
Red
it
face
vividly.
handprint.
Whereas with the CGI ones, I can't really see them as clearly as I can vividly see that actor who was playing that Uruk-hai. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else to add about Lord of the Rings? Anything else that springs to mind?
Nope.
Does it say who's directing it? 'Cause is it Peter Jackson again?
Stand by.
And who's producing it? Because obviously Prime or Amazon owns a lot of rights to
I'll
Lord of
bet
the Rings
there's
at the moment.
No shot that it's Peter Jackson.
Directed by Kenji Kamiyama.
Never heard
Don't
of
know.
it.
We'll have to look them up.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
I don't know who that is. But the thing is that I think that's fine because when you look at The Hobbit, that was directed by Peter Jackson, right? And I don't rate it
No, I don't rate it much.
in comparison, right?
I think my problem is I enjoy the big battles, whereas the big battle didn't happen till the last film. It was more of a, the band of the dwarfs
Yeah.
fighting through stuff.
I think it's harder. I think it's easier, or why a lot of people like the original trilogy is that because they have the original Fellowship has a lot of different types of people in, so you can see yourself on different types of people. Like a lot of the guys would be like, Aragorn or Legolas, or obviously Gimli with Nath because he's so short.
Do you want to stand up? Do you want to stand up on camera right now? You're the shortest in the room.
I've got.
If JT was here, he's another one of our mates. We could probably put down to him, but he's not here, so yes, I'm the Gimli.
I've got one thing to add, which I've only just seen now. I wish I'd read this before. Still relevant. Everything we've gone on about is still relevant, and I think we can end the pod on this. And you can put in the comments in terms of what you think about this. And it's in the first line, and I didn't even read it. Animated.
Oh.
Didn't even read
Well,
it.
let's just end the show here then.
Didn't even read it.
I don't
That
think
makes
an
all the
animated film.
difference.
Animated. When I saw who that was directing it, I was like, "Who's that?" And then when I clicked into it, let me. Shall I tell you what was hilarious about it? When I clicked into
We're
it.
talking about Clone Wars.
Do you want
That was great though.
I don't mean Clone
to
Wars.
see the first thing that comes up? DuckTales. DuckTales.
What for
hands.
Kenji? What for Kenji?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean DuckTales?
What
do you mean, what do you mean?
DuckTales is a great.
Right, look, we ain't got time for this right now.
Um,
It's a Disney film. We'll get to it.
So maybe in the comments, comment how you feel about an animated Lord of the Rings film coming out in 2024 December. Sorry guys, if you feel like I wasted your time. Look, I tried. I tried, guys.
Such a tease.
Yeah, even as the homie anime fan in here or an animation fan in here. Oh dear. That's not to scale.
I think you forgot the massive.
On me.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Pod 1, was it successful? I think we've had a laugh, haven't we?
It's been good.
It's been good. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stick
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Stick around.
And make sure you leave a comment if you notice that one of our cameras just died.
Yeah. So yeah,
Let's go.
we're the 4-Bit Crew. That was Talk Bits. Stick around because more pods and videos are on the way.